Hey guys, Matthew with Peak Mindset. Today we're going to talk about the terror barrier, and the terror barrier is one of my most exciting things I love talking about because it relates to all of us in our life and experiences that we tend to go through on a routine basis dealing with fear, worry, and anxiety. So I want to dig into this with you and share these some insights I've learned from mentors over the years, and also applied techniques that really can help you overcome those setbacks, those fears, those blocks, where it can take you to the next level in your life. And when we understand the why, that's the big kicker, because there's more to understanding your fears and your doubts and your worries and the things that are blocking you besides just, how to be positive. The whole thing is overcoming a fear comes down to understanding the fear, understanding what's going on in your brain, the mind, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and really getting aligned with, if you know what's happening, you can overcome it better. So here's a terror barrier at work. So buckle up, guys. So the first thing we have here is we have the arena of comfort, and the comfort arena is basically, this is actually a picture of our mind, and we have an X idea, an X idea, and an X idea. In the comfort area of our mind, this is basically the arena of the masses, okay? So typically most people, it's the arena of our masses. This is the comfort zone where, the comfort zone where you've got that 9 to 5 job, you go home at 6 o'clock at night, you have supper at 6:30, you go to bed at 10, you watch TV at 9, you're up at 6, you turn your coffee pot on at 6:15, you go to work at 7:30. That's the comfort. The comfort zone is basically what we do every day. And all of a sudden, if there's a shift in the whole day, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a shift. I'm going to go crazy because my coffee pot didn't turn on at 6:15, or I have no coffee beans left, or I have to stay at work until 8 now. So this is basically the comfort zone, is where we get really comfortable in and we don't want to really change. Okay, it's mainly the masses. Now, the second arena is called reason. It's basically the thought process stage. So in this area of reason, I'm going to take, for example, a why idea up here in the conscious mind. This is our conscious mind right here. Here's a subconscious mind right here. So basically in every one area that we have here in our processes, we've got the conscious mind here, the subconscious mind there, and our body here, okay? So basically the why idea is coming in here on the conscious mind. In the X here, which basically is the subconscious mind, it's where all the habits are formed, routines are formed. We're basically pre-programmed and conditioned in this arena of our mind, okay? And when this thought or idea comes in, okay, and for example, I'll give you an example. So for me in my life, let's say, for example, I want to change my routine of my workouts. Right now I train in the morning at 6:30 in the morning. Let's say, for example, I want to train now at night at 5 p.m., okay? So I'm basically taking my comfort zone of 6:30 in the morning, and now I want to train now at 5 o'clock at night. So it's a big shift in my routine, okay? So I've got this idea in me, right? But I'm preconditioned to basically train at a certain time where my days, plan this way. I'm going to, start work at 9 o'clock. I'm going to end the day at, 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and those kind of processes. So all of a sudden I get this idea I'm going to change, and my whole plan was I'm going to have this new idea and try it for the next 21 days. Science has shown that 21 days is the ideal time frame to instill a new habit in our subconscious mind. So from there, we're going to install this new idea in our conscious mind, okay? And then from here, the X, meaning the subconscious, we're programmed to train in the morning. So basically, I've got to keep programming myself in the morning. Okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to, instead of actually, training it in the morning, now I'm actually going to do all my work now starting at 7 in the morning. And I'm going to finish, my work day at 4. I'm going to drive to the gym in traffic and get to the gym at, 5 to 5:30, and then train at 5:30 and finish at 6:30 and go to bed at 11 o'clock, So my schedule is basically all changing around. But I realized that this new idea could improve my life, and that's why I want to do it. So this idea for you could be, for example, changing a job. You have an idea or a thought that you want to change a job. You want to quit this job and try a new job. Or maybe the idea is you want to move to a whole different whole new town or city. So I'll give you a second example. Say I have an idea that I want to move from Calgary, Alberta to Montreal, Quebec, which actually I did, okay? I get this idea, I want to actually move, okay? And it comes into my conscious mind as a why idea. I'm pre-programmed in my comfort zone at the subconscious mind that I wanted to stay in Calgary because it's easy to live there. I got all my things figured out, everything's planned. Life's simple, it's comfortable, it seems okay. But I really think that if I move, there's more, I'm with my wife now, I have more opportunity in Montreal, all this great stuff. So I did that, but all of a sudden, 10 days into this whole process, okay, I'm coming along. And this next phase is called the conflict and shifting phase, where, you're going along, you're pre-programming yourself. I'm pre-programming myself to change. So my first example to you was, changing my routine of my day, where I'm changing my workout schedule totally around. And my second example was moving to a totally different place from Calgary to Montreal. So for example, I'm pre-programming myself to make this change and shift. And I've planted the ideas in my conscious mind still. And it's starting to shift where I'm feeling like, okay, I'm going to overcome this new change. I'm going to overcome and move to Montreal. I'm going to overcome and just stick to this new routine of training in the nighttime now. I can feel that this is really going to work out for me now. I'm going to make that shift. And I'm overcoming these fears of, well, I want to go back to, the old way again. I wanted to stay in Calgary. I think that's going to be better for me. So it's really understanding those conflicts. So with this being said, is all of a sudden on day 10, okay, day 10 comes and I'm driving to the gym at 5 o'clock or 4:30 and I get into an accident. And, I've dented my car, I got to get my insurance involved, and I'm just stressed beyond belief. And what happens basically is because I'm now in this reactive stress mode, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm uncomfortable. I'm stressed out. I want to go back to my old habits now and just stay home and just drive back home. Or right now I'm in an accident, I can't even do that. Or I want to stay in Calgary and just forget about moving. Or I'll give you a second example. Say, for example, on day 12, a conflict arises where I get a phone call saying, hey, Matt, you've just lost a bunch of money in your investments, and now it's pretty much all gone. Okay, so now I'm left with just a little bit of money I have left that I thought I was going to have to move to Montreal. It now isn't there anymore, so I'm down to like a few $1,000 to live off of for the next freaking 2 months. So there's a second example I can give you that would give you an example of conflict. So with that being said, when conflict arises, because our lives have so many things going on, so many circumstances, so many situations, so many challenges, we must be pre-programmed to overcome fear and overcome anxieties and stresses so we can break through this barrier and overcome fear, because fear can come in many forms. Fear can come from your boss going to you when you're trying to change your whole routine around, saying you have to stay at work at this time, this day, and they could totally screw up your whole workout. It could be getting a call from your parents saying, no, don't leave, don't go. If you go and leave, you're gonna be far from us. I'm never gonna see you anymore. And all of a sudden, you get these fears of, well, what if I move to Montreal? What's that gonna do to my family life? So really understand that these fears that come up for you are totally normal. We always get fears, but you must be conditioning yourself, which I'll show in other videos on how you can change your state and recondition your mind, which will help you even more with overcoming some of these fears. But for today's sake, it's understanding what conflict is going on here. So when you know what conflict's going on is, for example, when I want to move to Montreal, I have to be so tough and strong that when that day 12 comes, when those fears come up, because I'm trying to reprogram my subconscious mind. So because I decided now that, I'm not going to let this accident affect me. I'm not going to let the money I lost yesterday, I lost $50,000 is now gone. I'm not going to let that affect me from moving to Montreal. I'm not going to let my parents who called me and say, you know what, Matt, don't leave because I don't want you to be away from me. I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm going to make the change and be in that perfect state or that aligned state of vibration and allow myself to push through. So terror barrier comes down to here. We're at this block stage where we've decided now to break through fear and not let the accident affect us, not let our parents who said no not affect us, not let our boss call us and tell us stay home from work, the money we lost affect us. So now we've broken through, okay? And when you break through, you're going to go into freedom zone. Now, freedom zone is where massive growth takes place. I love freedom zone because you're going to notice that when you actually break into freedom zone, the amount of growth that you experience, because now you've pre-programmed the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. More importantly, the subconscious mind, because you've pushed past 21 days. You've kept your habits in place, your routines in place, and because of it, now you're programmed for more of a successful process. Now you're programmed to really see the results, get results, take action, and move on to the next thing that's going to come for you in your fear element of your life as well. So this whole process of the comfort zone, the reason zone, the conflict zone, breaking through the terror barrier, then going into freedom zone is called the terror barrier process. And I talk about this extensively in my seminars on peak mindset, but also in the action classes. I go through a lot of this in the action classes because what we do in there is we go through people's fears, their old beliefs, their old challenges. When they set that goal, it's important to know how to stay aligned and in good state and good vibration to really push through that to get that massive change into your life. So it's Matthew Park with Peak Mindset. Thank you for joining me today. I love talking about this kind of stuff. And I know if you follow these principles and know how the terror barrier works, it will literally change your life. So until next time, have an awesome day. Have an epic day. And we'll see you next video. Thanks, guys.